Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. We all know Albert Einstein as the genius who unraveled the secrets of the universe, right? But did you know he once said, "Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving." It's a brilliant metaphor, but for Einstein himself, it was also a very literal and often very confusing daily reality. Today, we're diving into a hilarious, possibly true story that shows a different side of the great physicist. The side that could calculate the curvature of space-time, but couldn't remember where he left his bike. Picture this. Berlin in the early 1920s. The city is buzzing with new ideas, art, and intellectual energy. And at the heart of it all is Professor Einstein, who, despite his growing fame, prefers a simple mode of transport. His trusty, old-fashioned bicycle. He'd pedal to the Prussian Academy of Sciences every day, his mind lost in a cosmos of equations and thought experiments. This deep thinking, however, had a comical side effect. Einstein was legendarily absent-minded. He'd arrive at the university, prop his bike against a wall, a lamppost, or even a startled-looking hedge, and promptly forget its existence. The university staff had practically made a sport of it, running a friendly betting pool on how long it would take the professor to find his bicycle each evening. Some days, he'd wander the streets for an hour, muttering about relative positions, not in space-time, but in the perplexing geography of the university courtyard. Our story reaches its peak on one particularly bright afternoon. Einstein is in the middle of delivering a guest lecture to a packed hall of eager students. He's at the blackboard, chalk dust flying, as he passionately explains the mind-bending concepts of his general theory of relativity. He's talking about how massive objects warp the fabric of space, time, using grand, sweeping gestures. The students are captivated, hanging on his every word. But while Einstein is bending space-time inside the lecture hall, something outside is demonstrating a much simpler law of physics, gravity. He had, in his usual hurried and distracted state, parked his bicycle at the very top of a gentle, grassy slope leading away from the building. He hadn't just forgotten where he parked it. He'd forgotten to properly secure it. As he spoke, a gentle breeze was all it took. The front wheel turned, and the bicycle, slowly at first, then with gathering speed, began to roll silently down the hill. It glided past the library, picked up momentum as it crossed a manicured lawn, and was now heading directly for the bustling main street. Back in the lecture hall, a young student sitting by the window notices the rogue vehicle. His eyes go wide. He can't believe what he's seeing. It's the professor's bicycle. On a solo journey, torn between respect for the lecture and the impending traffic disaster, he finally can't take it anymore. He leaps to his feet, interrupting Einstein mid-sentence. Professor Einstein," he shouts, his voice trembling with urgency. The entire hall turns to stare. Einstein, pulled from his trance, looks at the student with mild annoyance. "Yes, what is it? Is there a question about gravitational lensing?" The student, pointing frantically out the window, yells. "No, sir, it's your bicycle. It's escaping relativity." For a moment, there's stunned silence. Then, a wave of laughter ripples through the hall. Einstein's eyes follow the student's pointing finger. He sees his beloved bicycle, now a tiny speck wobbling precariously close to traffic. A huge grin spreads across his face. All thoughts of space-time curvature vanished, replaced by a sudden, boyish excitement. "Ah!" he exclaimed, dropping the chalk. "A practical experiment with motion and inertia. Excellent." Without another word, he bolts from the lecture hall, his grey hair flying behind him. The entire class, now completely abandoning the lecture, rushes to the windows to watch the show. They see the world's most famous scientist, coattails flapping, chasing his runaway bicycle down the hill. He's not annoyed. He's exhilarated. He's shouting things like, "Observe the constant acceleration." And fascinating, the friction coefficient of the road is lower than I estimated. He finally catches up to it just as it teeters at the edge of the curb, grabbing the handlebars in the nick of time. He stands there, panting, a triumphant look on his face. As his students gather around him, he pats the bicycle seat and declares with a theatrical flourish, "Eureka! I have discovered a new universal law, the theory of perpetually misplaced bicycles." It just goes to show, even for the greatest minds, life's biggest challenges can sometimes be as simple as remembering where you parked. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this little trip back in time, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more stories, and ring that notification bell. See you in the next video.